Hello learners, I welcome you all in the class of Master of Library and Information Science. Today we shall discuss an introduction to information policies, which is a topic under the course Information, Communication and Society. Information is essential to our existence. The essence of our existence relies on information, and information policy serves as a comprehensive framework of interconnected principles, policies, laws, guidelines, and procedures governing the entire life cycle of information. Information management refers to the systematic process of collecting, organizing, storing, accessing, and using information efficiently and effectively to support specific objectives. It involves a combination of technologies, information resources, human resources to ensure that the right information is available to the right people at the right time while maintaining security, accuracy, and compliance. Information policies act as the framework of interconnected principles, laws, guidelines, rules, regulations, and procedures of information. They serve for efficient management of information. Today, in this class, we shall focus on the notion of information policy, necessity and importance of information policies in different aspects, the impact of information policy and IT action plan on library and information systems and services. Now, what is information? Information can be defined as the representation of knowledge or data that has been organized, processed, and communicated in a meaningful way. It can exist in various forms such as text, images, sounds, and videos, and can be communicated through different channels such as books, the internet, and spoken languages. Information is used for various purposes such as to educate, inform, entertain, persuade, and communicate ideas. It can also be used for decision making, problem solving, and research. The role of information in promoting democratic values and principles is of great importance. Access to accurate and reliable information is essential for individuals to make accurate decisions and participate in the democratic process. Information policy thus seeks to ensure that information is not controlled or manipulated in ways that undermine democratic values such as freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and the right to access information. Another important aspect of the notion of information in the context of information policy is the role of technology in shaping the way in which information is produced, distributed, and consumed. Advances in technology have revolutionized the way in which we access and use information and have created new opportunities and challenges for information policy. For example, the rise of social media and online platforms has enabled individuals to share information and opinions with a global audience in real time, but has also created new risks related to the spread of misinformation and online harassment. Information policy must therefore be responsive to these technological developments and seek to promote innovation while mitigating the risks associated with new technologies. This includes developing policies and regulations to ensure that new technologies are used in a responsible and ethical manner and that individuals are protected from harm. Now, what is policy? Policy is a set of principles, rules, guidelines, or procedures established by an organization or government to guide decision making and actions. Policies should be designed and implemented in a transparent and inclusive manner, taking into account the perspectives and interests of different stakeholders. Once a policy is established, it is usually communicated to those who are affected by it, and mechanisms may be put in place to monitor compliance and effectiveness. Policies can have a significant impact of individuals, organizations, and society as a whole. Policy is a crucial step in the goals, policy, strategy, and program hierarchy, which involves setting goals, developing policies and strategies to achieve them, implementing actions or programs, monitoring and evaluating progress, and then revising the plan based on the evaluation. Now, what is goal? A goal or objective is a definite and desired outcome. It represents an idea of the future or desired result that a person or a group of persons envision, plan, and commit to achieve. Policy is a general statement or understanding that guide to a generic course of action or which is necessary to achieve the goal. It is a statement of intent and is implemented as a procedure or protocol. Policies are generally adopted by a governance body within an organization. Strategy develops a course of action to achieve the goals considering resources and constraints. It describes how the goals will be achieved by the available resources. A program is a scheduled set of initiatives, activities, and tasks outlined in a predetermined strategy. It is a set of tactical actions of a goal seeking process. Now, what is information policy? Information policy refers to the set of guidelines, principles, and rules that govern the collection, use, dissemination, and management of information. Situated at the intersection of information science and public policy, information policy treats information both as a commodity, aligning with the economic theory of property rights, and as a resource that necessitates collection, protection, sharing, manipulation, and management. Despite frequent reference to information policy in the regular form, there is no all-encompassing policy. Rather, these policies typically address specific issues and may exhibit fragmentation, overlap, and contradictions. It encompasses various aspects related to the use of information such as privacy, security, access, and intellectual property rights. It can be formulated at different levels, including organizational, national, and international levels, and it can have a significant impact on the functioning of various systems and services that rely on information. Now we discuss notion of information in respect to information policy. The notion of information in respect to information policy may be grouped as privacy and security, ethical ground, technological, social, economic, and legal aspects. Information policy must take into account security and privacy of individuals and organizations in accessing, using, and managing their relevant information. Information policy must ensure that information is used in a ethical and responsible manner and that individuals are protected from harm. Policies must be developed to ensure that information is managed securely, efficiently, and reliably, and that technological and technical standards are followed to enable interoperability and compatibility. They should consider the social dimensions of information, such as the impact of information on society, and reduce or eliminate the social inequalities. Policies should also ensure that information is managed in a way that promote economic growth and innovation while also protecting individuals' economic rights and interests. Information policies must also consider that global development and cooperation are promoted. Now, what are the historical grounds to develop or evolve information policies? The concept of information policy has its roots in the development of communication technologies. The history of information policy is intertwined with the development of telecommunications, broadcasting, and the internet. In the late 19th and early 20th century, the telegraph and telephone were the dominant means of long distance communication, and governments played an important role in regulating these industries. The development of radio broadcasting in the early 20th century brought new challenges for governments as the airwaves were seen as a public resource that needed to be managed and regulated. The emergence of the internet in the 1990s brought about new challenges and opportunities for information policy. The development of international institutions has also played a significant role in shaping information policy. The rise of social media and online platforms has further complicated the landscape of information policy as governments and regulators grapple with issues such as online harassment, hate speech, misinformation, disinformation, etc. Today, information policy is an increasingly important area of public policy as digital technologies continue to transform the ways in which we access, create, and share information, and governments seek to balance competing interests such as freedom of expressions, privacy, security, and economic competitiveness. Now, who is responsible for developing information policy? The development of information policy involves a range of stakeholders, including policymakers, researchers, industry experts, and the general public who collaborate to establish norms and regulations that promote the efficient and responsible use of information. Information policy also involves ethical consideration such as the potential for discrimination, manipulation, exploitation. Information policies must balance the need. Cut from information policy also involves ethical consideration. Information policy is not only confined to government spheres, it spans all levels of government, non-government, and international concerns as well. Thus, its realm extends beyond governmental boundaries, permeating organizations, associations, and various groups where it plays a vital role in shaping practices and interactions. Now, what are the need and importance of information policy in information society? Information policy is important in the context of information and knowledge society, which is characterized by the widespread use of ICT to create, process, distribute, and use information. Information policies are important because they protect privacy and personal data, they promote access to information. Such policies enhance digital literacy, they encourage innovation, they support economic development, they ensure security. Information policies foster accountability and transparency, they protect intellectual property, and they ensure ethical use of information. They also facilitate international cooperation, they ensure digital rights and also freedom of expression, and information policies support education, promote e-governance, support healthcare, and also support environmental sustainability. Thus, information policy plays a crucial role in the information and knowledge society by promoting privacy and data protection, access to information, digital literacy, innovation, economic development. Therefore, the development and implementation of effective information policy is essential to harness the benefits of information and knowledge society while minimizing the risk and challenges. Information policy is shaped by a wide range of technological, political, economic, and social factors. As digital technologies continue to transform our world, it is likely that information policy will continue to play a critical role in shaping the ways in which we access, create, and share information. Now we mention here national level information policies in India. The national information policies in India are comprehensive framework that outline the principles, objectives and strategies for managing information resources in the country. The policies are designed to ensure the availability and accessibility and integrity of information while also safeguarding the privacy and security of individuals. The main objectives of the national information policies are to promote the development of a knowledge-based society, encourage the use of information and communication technologies for economic and social development, and enhance access to information for all citizens, and also to ensure the security and confidentiality of information. Thus, we in our country we can mention in such policies prevailed in our nation are some of such policies which prevailed or now prevailing in our country are the National Policy on Library and Information System 1985, Department of Culture, Government of India, Information Technology Act 2000, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, the Freedom of Information Act 2002, Right to Information Act 2005, Ministry of Law and Justice, Copyright Amendment Act 2012, then National Cyber Security Policy 2013, again Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Email Policy, Government of India 2014, the National Intellectual Property Rights Policy 2016 by Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, National Digital Communications Policy 2008 and National Policy on Electronics 2019, National Education Policy 2020, Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code 2021, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, and Telecommunications Act 2023, Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications, Government of India. The Face and Registrations of Periodicals Bill 2023, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. These are some policies and acts which are prevailing in the area of information use, dissemination, and these are some of the policies and acts which gives regulation for using and accessing information in better way. Now, international information policies. In an increasingly interconnected world, international information standards and policies play a critical role in enabling the seamless exchange, security, and accessibility of information. These standards provide guidelines for data management, promote interoperability from these standards provide. Policies should be designed and implemented in a transparent and inclusive manner, taking into account the perspectives and interests of different stakeholders. Information policies across the borders are constantly evolving to keep pace with new developments in technology and communication. Growing concern over data privacy and security, and they may be shaped by governments, intergovernmental organizations, and non-governmental organizations or private entities and individuals. So, the key actors in international information policies are intergovernmental organizations such as United Nations, Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, or Internet Governance Forum, IGF, International Telecommunication Union, ITU, World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, are some of the such intergovernmental organizations. And another group of key actors in international information policy are non-governmental organizations. Say for example, International Organization for Standardization, World Wide Web Consortium, International Electrotechnical Commission, to name a few. And how the governments are playing role in adopting and implementing policies and regulations in different levels in national level in their own countries. Now, we mention here some of the information policies at international level such as ISO 23950 1998 for information and documentation such as information retrieval, that is Z 39.50, application service definition and protocol specification. ISO 2709 2008 for information and documentation, that is format for information exchange. International standards for all electrical, electronic and related technologies by IEC, open access mandates and policies, recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence by UNESCO, Sustainable Development Goals by United Nations, the European Union General Data Protection Regulation GDPR are some of the examples of information policies and guidelines in the international level. Information policies play a crucial role in shaping the strategy for managing, disseminating, and safeguarding information within an increasingly digital and interconnected global landscape. The dynamic evolution of technology and communication underscores the need for a comprehensive and flexible policy framework that effectively addresses the diverse challenges and opportunities presented by the information age. In this class, we have discussed some general aspects of information policies, why they are essential in this information and knowledge society, and how ICTs affect on use of information and their the role of information policy in using information through its life cycle. We also mentioned here the policies in the field of information in our country and also in the international level and the prime factors for developing such policies. That is all for today's class. Thank you.